Good afternoon. We are going to now do an interview with Sardar Tarlochan Singh ji, former Member of Parliament and the head of the Minorities Commission. Sir, you have held very, very high positions in this esteemed country. Could you just give us a few examples of some of the things that you did as a Member of Parliament and, of course, as heading the Minorities Commission?
Thank you that you are providing me this opportunity. I am proud of the fact that I was born in undivided India in the portion which is called now Pakistan. And that is, as per our own history, the best area in Punjab people used to call was Potwar. Because best of the intellectuals, best of the people who served the community and the state in educational field, they came from that area. So I am born in village Dodial, which is a very prominent place as being the main Sikh village in whole of that area. And that was where people used to take shelter whenever there was a problem. So God has been very kind to me that I, as a refugee, along with other millions of Sikhs and Hindus who were forcibly ousted due to the partition of the country, I came to Patiala. I studied in Patiala, did my MA Economics from Punjab University, then joined Government Service of Punjab in the Public Relation, Tourism, Culture Department, where I did my best. And people still remember that I built Maharaja Ranjit Singh Museum in Amritsar, which is the biggest tourist attraction. I built Shaheed Bhagat Singh Museum at his ancestral village. I put up his statues first time with turban on. Earlier Bhagat Singh used to be with hat. So I put up these two statues, one Ludhiana, one is Khatkar with turban on. So that is my effort. Then I, at that time, published the first ever Sikh 12 pages colored calendar in 1973, which was later on followed by Punjab Sindh Bank, and every year they started. I was with when Gyani Zail Singh ji was Chief Minister. He built up a road called Guru Gobind Singh Marg, which is a landmark in the history of Punjab. I was secretary of that committee. Gyani Zail Singh ji was the chairman. So I was one of the person who organized the longest march of the Sikhs, which was for 3 days, from Anandpur Sahib to Damdama Sahib, on the route which Guru Gobind Singh went on horseback. So that was also considered at that time a big achievement. So I have been in Punjab Markfed, which is the largest cooperative of the Asia. I am the person when Markfed decided to have harvesting combines, which are at that time considered to be a new entry in the Green Revolution. I went to East Germany for training and brought 6 harvesting combines where mechanical harvesting was possible first time in Punjab. That was my effort. So I came to Delhi in 1982 as Director Asian Games. That was a biggest success of Indira Gandhi at that time to organize such an international event. I was Director of Publicity. So I was given an award by President of India for that. And then after that I joined Rashtrapati Bhavan as Press Secretary to the President of India. So that time provided me opportunity to go abroad. I visited most of the countries with President, so gave me enough time and places to see. So that was, and during that time with President, there was a crisis between President and the Prime Minister, Rajiv Gandhi. So naturally I had to defend or give proper publicity to my boss, President. So that was also a very, you can say, the controversial period where I succeeded. After, actually that period also was the most, you can say, where every Sikh feels that when army attacked Golden Temple, then when the Sikhs were killed in Delhi, another part, it was the time when I was in Rashtrapati Bhavan. That was very pathetic, and that one can never forget. Later on, I became chairman of National Commission for Minorities, earlier vice chairman and chairman, 2 terms, 6 years, where I did my best to help minorities, not only Sikhs, but even the Muslim, Christians, and the Buddhist, Parsis. So that period of my 6th year was in that sense that we gave first time a opportunity to the majority and minority community leaders to sit together. I organized interfaith meetings in my office where the top leadership of Muslims and Hindus, they came and sat together. Organized the Sikh leaders and Christian leaders to sit together. So there was many such things during that time. I succeeded, and during that time, major achievement was that I helped that the first Sikh to become army general, because there was a move. If that move succeeded, then General J.J. Singh would not have been army chief. So at that time, Minority Commission chairman, I moved in a way that there is no hurdle in his way. Then I also succeeded proposing to the Prime Minister to give Field Marshal to Air Chief Marshal Arjan Singh. That was another achievement during that time, and he was given that 3rd person in India to get Field Marshal. So such many things during that time which I continued. I became then Member of Parliament, independent from Haryana in 2004, and 6-year term in Parliament. My biggest achievement is I brought Anand Marriage Act, which was passed unanimously by both houses. That's the first time that Sikhs got an identity of having a separate dharma, because earlier we used to get marriage certificate under Hindu code bill, but now people are getting as Anand marriage. So that was a major achievement I could get. I succeeded in getting statue of Maharaja Ranjit Singh on horseback in the Parliament premises. I put up also Bhagat Singh's first time ever, his bust in the Parliament. I also presented photos of Mastara Singh and Baba Khadar Singh, again the first time any Sikh leader's photograph going in Parliament. So these were also
You have done a lot of writings, many publications. Could you tell us a little bit about, highlight some of them that you feel are really noteworthy?
I have published 6 books, which are, you can say, that starting from my career as PR in Punjab till today, I have been writing on the current affairs of Punjab articles. So all those articles which I wrote in various newspapers, they were then collected, and in different books, different times, 6 books have come on these which are in the market. Then my speeches in Parliament, and these were published by Punjabi University Patiala as a book called The Role of a Parliamentarian. That has been very popular. It was again translated in Punjabi, and is part of a syllabus in the University of Patiala. So these books are there. I have been writing regularly in various newspapers. I have been very popular on all TV and other channels speaking this. In addition to this, I have been involved in the sports. I you will be amazed, attended perhaps maximum number of Olympics, Asian and Commonwealth Games since 1972 when I went to Munich as India's Tibet team as PR. So I have been going all over the world to attend the sports meets as the official of Indian Olympic Association. I was vice president of Indian Olympic Association for more than 20 years.
Can I take you back to partition? And did you and your family actually suffer or experience what happened? And could you just say, tell a little bit about what happened, about the camps, and also tell me, what can you say about the people from the Punjab, from the Patohar? What did you see about them, the characteristics that took them forward? Your analysis.
You have put very good question because people and the new generation is not aware that the partition of India took place on 15th August 1947. But our area, which is called Pothoar, and beyond us is a Peshawar area, these areas, the killings of people, mass scale killing, burning of villages took place in March 47. Actually, we people were uprooted forcibly in March, whereas the rest of Punjab, which is the agriculture area, the Sheikhupura, Lalpur, Mintagumri, they were ousted after 15th August. So whatever you hear about that how ladies were killed, how ladies jumped in the well to save their honor, and how our people fought with the Muslim mobs, this was in our area, Potwar area. Each and every village of these 3-4 districts were burnt. And this was on 11th, 12th and 13th March. So we suffered first time in India when entire India was astonished. What happened? At that time, there was an interim government led by Nehru in Delhi. Lord Mountbatten was viceroy. So at that time, nobody actually at that time could think why the Muslim League started this. So I am the one who saw my village today all burning. Whole of our village was burnt. There was man-to-man fight. Since I told you earlier, our was the Sikh village. So luckily, 2 or 3 people from Absa died, but more Muslims died during hand-to-hand fight. But I myself, I was in 9th class at our village had a high school, Khalsa High School. So I saw myself the killing of people, burning of my village, and how we were running hither and thither, and the whole village, and in the night assembled in a big house of one Sikh Sardar ji, and that as a luck was to have it, the Muslim thought that when we are there, they'll kill us all. But luckily, army convoy reached there and we were saved. Otherwise, we whole village would have been finished. And
once you came to India,
then,
how were you able to get away?
So
and
after
once
that,
you came here, what happened here?
After that, here people are not now remembering history. One should read. Master Tara Singh is the first person in the country who then announced that Pakistan is going to come up. We should have exchange of population. And which Nehru and Jinnah and Mountbatten refused. They say, how is it possible? How can people go from one country to other? They live there. So he said, no. What happened in March, nobody will live in Pakistan. So he then gave a call in Rawalpindi, because Master Tara Singh belonged to Potwar. His village was burnt, Haryal. So he then made this announcement that people should go out. And at that time, luckily, Maharaja Patiala, Yadvinder Singh, he gave a call on the radio that all the people who have lost their houses, they are welcome to Patiala. I will give them shelter. So this is how the entire people of our area came to Patiala. Any Sikh refugee whom you meet today, he first came to Patiala, then from there we shifted, some Delhi, Bombay, foreign. So this is how...
Majnu Katila, there were camps put out there.
Yes, the Patiala family, what? they gave all school, colleges to the people coming. They provided free food, free clothes. It was, I think, nobody can imagine how the people from Pakistan were well treated by the Patiala family at that time.
What can you say about the spirit of the people once they came back? You would imagine you've lost your homes, you've lost every single thing that you owned.
Here is the beauty of...
Were these people downcast, or were they still up-spirited? How did you see them?
You see, as you read India's history, that invaders have been entering India, they entered first Potwar. If you go around, Raja Porus was also a Potwari. Raja Porus, when Alexander came, the fight was on river Jhelum by Raja Porus, who was a Sabharwal Potwari, and he fought. So from that time, we are the one who have been fighting the invader, and after that, Potwar area people used to come across. So we had that will, historical willpower of each Potwari, whatever, because the Muslims were the invaders. So we were all Hindu, Sikhs came later on. So we had that willpower, that out of ashes we again emerge. That's what happened. Not a single person from our area was a beggar. People started small shops on the footpaths. People did everything. I myself did child labor for 1 year to earn money so that I can go to school. I did my matric after that. 1 year I was doing child labor. So our people never begged. This is called the real spirit of a Potwari, that he will do anything. And secondly, we, after all, our people living abroad should know and tell children that how we survived. You see, our population in Potwar was 5%. 95% were Muslims. But we were the rulers. For centuries, we were the main, the best of the houses in Rawalpindi were of the Sikh community. In every area, we had best of the property. And then we were the traders. The entire trade of that region belonged to us. And then the entire education system, we were the first. Navjot Singh principal, the first principal Khalsa College from a village near to my village. Dr. Manmohan Singh, a near village to me. I.K. Gujral from Jhelum. So all these people, Principal Teja Singh, they came from Potwar. So they, Nanak Singh novelist. So everywhere you hear, our area produced the best of the talent, best of the people in academic world. And now Bhisham Sani, Balraj Sani, they all come from there. Every person you see from that area has become one of the best person in trade. After partition, people sometimes say that we have gained more after partition. We became more wealthy after partition because of our hard work. We spread out everywhere. Now wherever you go, the Potwari you will see, any country, the best of Gurdwara, they have been donating and building. So our spirit never died.
Sir, just one thing. The worrying thing is the young people, the young generation, especially those living in countries in the West, wherever else, are losing out on their actual knowledge of their roots, of Potwar, the language, the foods. I think it's very easy to adapt to the country where you're living in. So you become westernized, you have to for survival to some stage, but they have lost this depth, these riches that we had. How, in your thinking, can we revive it so that they can take pride in who they are?
You are very correct. I have been abroad many times. The problem this is with the parents. Because we are involved in business so much that we have no time to educate our children. Earlier, our grandmothers, Nani, Dadi, they used to teach us sakhiyan sunaniyan, kahaniyan sunaniyan. Nobody, no mother is willing to educate her children. Now, you go to Canada, America, they all came from Europe. They are not the original Canadian or American. But people still maintain their nationalities. Every Sunday there are different melas of Romanian, of German, of French. They hold. But our people, because they are so much involved in earning money and business, they never care to teach history to their children. After all, language, unless you know Punjabi, how will you read Guru Granth? We forget that language, English, is a must anywhere. But you should know your heritage. You should learn from where we come, and we should be proud of that. In every house, there should be some board to write that we come from village Potwar, that place. He was our grandfather. People should teach and be proud of that. I think that should be a message to everyone, that wherever you are, please teach your children about your own history and be proud of it.
So one is inside the home. Maybe the schools where we have add Sunday classes, add whatever classes, where they are learning Gurmukhi, where they are learning Baja, where they are learning Kirtan. Maybe another subject to be added is your own history. Anything else by using the current means of media, social media, other media, can we also utilize those?
Why not? But luckily, for the Sikhs especially, we must go to Gurdwara. That has become a must. Sunday Gurdwara meeting is a must. So that is a place where, in addition to Kirtan, there should be regular lectures on our history. They should invite people for lecture in each Gurdwara. And then these days, the social media is so popular that now you look to any small video. So this is now very easy to tell people who you are. We can get now, people have written many books on the Sikh heritage in Pakistan. So maximum our area has come in those books. So then it's very easy. But that is how, if we decide ourselves. You see, that's what I give my thanks to Sardar Tarlochan Singh, that he is the one I met in London, who is always keen that name of Potwar should be remembered and people should be proud of their heritage. So such people, many I have met, there are small associations, they should come up. There is no dearth of money. And children also will like it if you educate them.
I think maybe one of the things would be, since children, youngsters like things that they can look up to, what they think is the latest, the best, the most popular. So maybe get back into making serials, using our old stories, get them made by the most popular writers, put them on Netflix, put them where everybody can see. That bring back not only the knowledge, with the knowledge will come the pride. And I think we need to place it up there so that the youngsters feel a sense of pride and say, oh my God, people from our area were like this. This is our language. Boli kinni mithi hai saadi. Asi boli bhul gaya.
ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਮਿੱਠੀ ਪਟਵਾਰੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਲੋਕ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ। ਦੇਖੋ ਮੋਹਨ ਸਿੰਘ, the best ਪੰਜਾਬੀ poet of that, ਉਹ ਪਟਵਾਰੀ ਹੈ। ਉਹਦੀਆਂ ਕਵਿਤਾ ਹੁਣ ਲੁਧਿਆਣੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੁੱਤ ਲੱਗੇ। People remember him. So ਬੜਾ ਕੁਛ ਸਾਡਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਹੈ। But main is that our generation leader today, they should now consider this their duty. Unless they decide, we cannot restore that part of history to our children.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.